So welcome back again. This time you can see it's a new one, and I tried animating Mr. Bean animated series. This was all done in my favorite software, of course, Synfig. And you can see I used three things to rig this one, like the slider plugin, controller plugin, and the controller switch. You can use any pictures you want from any place you want to get them from. So just import it into Synfig. What I usually do is I duplicate the image so that I have two, one for the background and another one for the color references. It makes it a lot easier to get the colors that way. I then switch to the spline tool or the Bezier tool, which you can activate by pressing B on your keyboard. Then I use it to draw. I draw most of my things, I draw them inside of Synfig. It's usually much easier that way. But alternatively, you can use Inkscape and then you can import it into Synfig for animating. Just make sure you name the layers before you import them. So basically this is not really a tutorial, it's just I'm just showing you how I draw. So you can maybe learn something, one or two things which might help you. So as you remember, I did a tutorial for using the controller plugin, which is what I mainly used for this one, for this pattern. You can use the controller plugin to control pretty much all the parameters. Yeah, in this case, you can notice the nose. If you haven't, you can just watch it again. It looks really cool. I made the nose look 3D. It almost looks 3D. It gives it a 2.5D look. So what I do in drawing, I draw everything in layers. Draw them and then I group them, and then I always rename. It is much easier to work in Synfig if you just rename your layers immediately after you draw them. It makes it much easier, and the animation becomes faster. So you can see it's starting to take shape. So basically, and another tip is if you can duplicate a layer, just duplicate it instead of drawing it again. For instance, I drew one eye, duplicate it to get the other one. I also do the same for the ears, the eyebrows. Yeah, anything that can be duplicated it's much better if you just duplicate it. So you can see it's starting to look like the real one. I basically decided to trace for this one because I wanted it to look much more almost similar, if not exactly, because I know I couldn't get it exactly, so that's why I had to trace it. I'm not really a fan of tracing. I'd rather draw everything myself. You can see it's starting to take shape. So basically went ahead, drew everything, position it, make sure every layer is where it's supposed to be. This is very useful in terms of animating, just knowing where every layer should be. This is why I actually drew the hair in 3 different parts, because I wanted to have a front part, the side part, and the other side part, in the left and the right side. This is useful when it comes to animating, because when it turns right, you have to push it back, which I just animated by using the Z depth, controlling the Z depth. Basically, the Z depth animates if a layer should go in front or behind another, which you should also animate when you're doing the head turn. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment, tell me what you want to see me do next. It could be Synfig, it could be, well, I basically animate in 3 software, so Blender and Morpho at times. Yeah, so this is the final render, and see you in the next one.